Well, I'm back on American soil. Um, Let me give you a little recap of my return. I have global entry. I guess that's where I want to start. Maybe I should start in Japan, take you back there. I don't really plan these videos out, so if you're watching it and you bear with me, I appreciate you. So let's go back to Japan. I made my way from my accommodation to the hotel. No, I mean to the airport by subway, and that was great. No problem. Um, I will say that it's a little tricky. Got to give yourself enough time to, in case you make an error and you have to, correct that error. So, yeah. All right. But I did it. I did it all alone, successfully navigated all of that, got on the trains, and made my way. Got there with plenty of time, and everything was good. I got some food, which was delicious, and then I boarded the plane. Okay, so you're with me. We board the plane. It was a funny, really funny guy, American Airlines steward, flight attendant. The guy speaks Japanese, and maybe he speaks more languages, but the guy is, I would say he's phenomenal. Funny dude, funny dude. So he greeted me at the door, and then we went in, and the flight took off, and everything was cool. So we take off. The flight is smooth, and we got here to DFW, Dallas Fort Worth, Texas. I don't know Dallas like that, so I've been sitting right where you see me. I've been sitting here for the last hour and a half or so. Um, my gate has been changed a number of times. I keep getting updates. We got about like 40 minutes before we start boarding for our flight. I'll be back in LA in the next 4 to 5 hours. Within the next 5 hours, I'll be back, which is dope. What else? So I'm just sitting here. I was on my phone, reminiscing, looking at my pictures, doing my thing. I haven't eaten anything except on the plane. Oh, let me mention the food on the plane. So when I was in Haneda Airport, I ate some pasta and it was delicious. Cut to we're on the plane and the first meal that they service is trash. I was like, this is horrible. I took a few bites of it, and and then also one of the things that got me is the flight attendant said that, or she said something to me, and then I think she said we only have pork, and she like put pork on my tray, and I was like, is that racist? She's trying to start something here. Luckily for her, like I'm good, despite the looks of things, this beard does not portend uh, the the fact that I am a Muslim, which I am not. It doesn't doesn't mean that. That's what I was thinking. Like, wait, did she assume I'm Muslim and just say, look, we don't have any food for you here. Just eat this pork. Let's see what happens. You know, just toss it on this tray and then see what happens. Nah, yeah, but anyway, the food was terrible. That first meal was horrible. Luckily, I had already eaten at the airport in Japan, so I wasn't too hungry. And then several hours later, they started sending around these little sandwiches, these little ham sandwiches, and those ham sandwiches were bomb. They were delicious. They had the hot mustard or some spicy mustard, the ham and cheese, and then a little bun, and that's all I needed. I didn't need all that pork or whatever that they were serving before, thinking that was that was terrible. That was terrible food. I don't know what that was. All right, so I'll spare you all the other details, but what happened? Flight was smooth mostly. The last meal we had was I had breakfast. They served us an omelet. Yeah, it was an omelet. And then what else did we do? The omelet. Yeah, that's it. I mean, then the plane landed safely, and then we started to leave, exit the plane, deplane, say goodbye, say goodbye to the hilarious flight attendant. You know, he was so into his energy and his flow. I stumbled kind of with my words. I wanted to say, arigato gozaimasu, because I've been saying it all this time in Japan, and he's running up and down the aisles talking to all the Japanese, passengers in Japanese. I just wanted to hit him with, some more Japanese, and my words kind of stumbled over my words, but he got the point and it was cool and said, "All right, man, peace." Wasn't much to that. It was just something I noticed. But he was funny. The one thing that was funny about him is he asked someone on the flight. I think the person might have been Japanese, or whatever. They ordered some coffee, and he said, "Do you want milk and sugar with that?" They said no. He said, "Okay, so you just like it black and bitter, right?" And they were like, "Yes." And I heard that question, and I looked up at him, and I smiled and chuckled, and he noticed that I was smiling and laughing, and he looked at me and he said, "That's how I like my coffee too, just like I am, black and bitter." He was referring to himself. I thought, man, that was hilarious, dude. What else happened? So then after our breakfast, oh yeah, we had plenty of time. After our breakfast, then it was time to deplane, and yeah. So I'm just like swimming through this experience, just walking through with no issues whatsoever. I have my global entry is still valid, so I came through global entry line. The one hiccup with global entry is that is the people they hired at global entry. The people they hire at global entry, no matter where they are, the people they hire at global entry, especially at the greeting point when you enter the global entry line, they don't have, in my opinion, they don't have the right attitude, or they don't have the right experience. They don't have the right um, people skills, maybe I want to say, because this is America. We speak English here, and all of the signs read, all the signs were in English, and yet this woman who works for Global Entry looks at me when I step into the line, and I've had this experience. I've had this happen to me on a few occasions where I step into the Global Entry line, and the attendant, whomever works at for Global Entry, is like, "Are you aware that you're standing in the global entry line? Do you know where you are? Is this where you're supposed to be?" And I'm like, get, you better chill out. I mean, all the signs say that this is global entry. They just look at me and they're like, "Oh, this brown guy doesn't know where he is, doesn't speak English. He's just walking anywhere. Like, the brown man needs help." Like, excuse you? No, I do not. Man, that's what that was the biggest hiccup, the thing that just pissed me off the most, and it's happened to me several times. Just like, you don't you don't belong here. Like, mother, I do. So what happened? So I go to the global entry kiosk, and then the lady tries to explain to me what the instructions are right in front of me in English, and I'm like, "Excuse you? I read the instructions. I know how this works. I've done it, several times." So then the scan, my face gets scanned, and then I'm given the green light to pass, and she tells me, "Okay, now you can go." And I'm like, "Why, thank you." You know, like, she, it's quite a useless job, useless position, but she could be like a little hipper or a little. Yeah, they just took an old person and just put them there and like, "Here, do the job." Like, relax, stop messing with people. Like, I could see if I were like falling all over myself and pushing buttons that don't need to be pushed, and then like running around the airport, you know, like a madman. But But if nothing like that is even happening, then you just need to chill. Say your good mornings. That's what really gets me. People are not so forthcoming with a good morning. How are you? Welcome. She should have been like, welcome to Global Entry, welcome back to America, something like that. But no, that wasn't it at all. So Japan is heaven. The number Japan, my numbers are 10 and 9, and Japan is heaven. Japan is heaven. So I just coming back from Japan to this stuff is like these little moments in America are just like, oh gosh. And then the other thing that got me that was the restroom situation. When I went to the restroom here, and I saw the how unclean, unkempt, and the lack of a water hose bidet, and how unsanitary things were, and not only that, but also how unsanitary other passengers, other people leave the restrooms. It's just like yuck, just yuck. But hey, I'm back in America, which is the greatest nation, right? You know what tripped me out when I was on the airplane? They said when we were about to land, they said, "Welcome to the United States of America." I thought they were gonna say, "And welcome to the land, welcome to Trump's kingdom" or something like that, where guns are openly carried, especially in this state, like something ridiculous like that. I thought they were gonna say something like that, but nope. Anywho, everything has been good. I've been minding my business, sitting right here. Haven't spent any money yet. I might grab something to eat before I get back on this plane or what have you. But yeah, I'll be back in LA, Los Angeles. Peace and blessings from Tokyo. Ichimaru kyu ga miemasu. Back in from Texas, where everything is big.